Oh, yeah. Yes! Yes, do not adjust your television sets. There is no hat. There is no hat. And I will point it out because I am self-conscious about it. Yes, I do have this zit on my head. I'm 46 years old and still get zits on my head for some reason. I'm very excited, man. I cannot wait. I've been looking forward to talking football all week. This is my favorite thing to do. You get smelly, stinky Dan today because I went for a run earlier. However, you cannot smell me through the TV. So that's a good thing. Starting July 7th, I will start breaking down all 32 NFL teams. I'm very excited to do this. For the next month, I'm just kind of enjoying a summer break, if you will. But starting in July, I'm going to do a lot of things to try to grow my YouTube channel. My goal is to get 750 subscribers by the start of the season. On another personal note, I am very, very excited that Vegas may be on. So I'm very excited about that. I am 73% sure I am not on cocaine, but I am halfway through this energy drink. I got some fantastic comments. Did I hear about Dan Campbell showing up? By the way, One Pride 40, welcome, brother. Hope the lack of cowboy hat does not mess you up. Did you hear about Dan Campbell showing up at the press conference with a race car helmet? No, that is awesome. You know, he kind of reminds me of a little bit, and you may not like this, but it's a good thing. It kind of reminds me of Mike Ditka. Taylor started. Really? Is this definite? You know what? We're going to talk about this. So I'm glad you brought that up, Alex. Welcome. I know it's baseball season, but I did not know this. Funk is in the house. Welcome, brother. Everyone heard about it, so I would hope Dan did, and MSN has been making fun of DC for it. Now more than ever, I want to see the Lions win a lot of games this year so you can laugh at them. Unfortunately, I did not. I really didn't, but that sounds awesome. Tyrod could be solid as long as he doesn't get another shot from. Watch the coaching staff or watch the doctor staff for the Houston Texans. So we'll have to watch that. I want to hear. Is this definite? I have not heard one way or another. So Alex says Taylor's a really, really good QB, not a franchise QB. Watson definitely not starting, and I do not believe he's going to be a Texan much longer. Rodgers is open to a trade, though. It's actually funny that you bring Rodgers up, a guy I really respect. Oh, yeah, you saw it. A guy I really respect, a very predominant Vegas handicapper, a guy kind of idolized. Now, he does everything. I just do football. He said that there's a sports bet plus 200. Will Aaron Rodgers take one snap as a Green Bay Packer? I actually think yes. I actually believe that. He says, hey, that's why sports books are making money. And he didn't attack me, but he disagreed with me, and that's fine. I still think Rodgers is going to be the Green Bay quarterback. If you want to talk about that, we can. I'm just offering my opinion. I think when everything's said and done, he still will be in Green Bay, at least for this year. Aaron Rodgers to Houston for Watson. That's actually not that bad. To be perfectly honest, I think Green Bay would have to give some stuff back. They may, of course, you have to understand the reason why this wouldn't work is because I think they're very, very high on Jordan Love still. Would I take Watson over Love? Yeah. I didn't like the Jordan Love pick. I watched him play a couple times, and it's ironic because both times were blowout losses. The Chiefs general manager, who's now in Detroit, he went to watch Patrick Mahomes play in Ames, Iowa, and they lost 42-10. Mahomes threw 4 interceptions, and that's a big reason why I don't believe he was really on board for trading up for Mahomes. That's kind of an inside Kansas City thing. So The 2 blowout losses, I saw Jordan Love, but I didn't think he was worth a first-round pick. You see the athleticism, but I saw all sorts of problems with him. I saw problems with Mahomes too, but it's really different. So the problem would be that if that did happen, you'd have to find something to do with Jordan Love because you traded up in the first round to get him. That's the thing that I didn't like. So what doesn't make sense? Yeah, it makes sense. You just have to figure out what to do with Jordan Love. You have to have a spot for Jordan Love. And I don't think Green Bay's – I think that – I still think Rodgers is going to be in Green Bay, and I think Watson's going to stay in Houston. But if you have information I don't, keep in mind I'm in Kansas City, you're in Houston. That's the whole point of the show is I want to hear about the inside things. I want to hear about Dan Campbell wearing a race car helmet. That's awesome. I know I didn't say it. Rodgers is a prima donna who can never take the blame. I don't know if I'd even want him. I have a feeling if he ends up in Detroit, you would be very happy with him. But the one thing I do want to point out is that he's at the end of his career. I think he could – honestly, I think Rodgers could walk away. Right now, today, I still think he's going to be the Green Bay Packers. This year, I think 2022, he could be the host of Jeopardy. He could go into the booth. I don't think he's the type of guy – who would go into coaching, but I do see him having a life outside of football, and it'd be interesting to see what he does. I could see him going to a major market just for 1 year, and that'd be interesting to see which major market it would be. Chicago apparently is very happy with Justin Fields, but I doubt he's going to start day one. You could look at Dallas, which would never happen. I mean, there could be an injury. A million things could happen. So, Funk. Luckily, I just got out of shower doing. I didn't get a chance to shower. Okay, I'm kind of sloppy today, but that's okay. One Pride 40. Campbell gives me Vrabel vibes, but I could see Vrabel. I actually am a big fan of Vrabel, and it's kind of ironic that we talk about Vrabel because I am going to talk about that in some detail. We're going to break down the AFC South. In hindsight, I should have done the AFC South first because I'm going to be breaking down Jacksonville, then the Jets, and the Houston Texans in that order. So 2 out of the first 3 teams are going to be in the AFC South. So I'm going to do a video Monday, Wednesday, Friday, tentatively. And I'll have to do a retraction video with free agent signings, not signings, players getting injured, players getting cut. But ideally, I don't think I'm going to have to do too many extra videos the way I got it. The way I got it set up, I'll start on the 7th of July and I'll end right before the season starts. So I'll be able to do all 32 teams. So I'm really excited about doing this. But for the next month, I'm going to kind of take it easy, but I am going to attack YouTube pretty hard. I'm going to try to get up to 750 subscribers. So it'd mean the world to me if you give me a thumbs up, because if you give me a thumbs up, the more thumbs up, the more engagement in the comment section, the easier it is for my channel to grow. And the more it grows, the more we can get people involved from different places. I see I got Denver Gator in the house, so that's awesome. And I want people from all different fan bases, including Dallas Cowboys fans. I don't have any Cowboys fans here, so Campbell's lining up, but I did not. Alex, wow. Okay, I'm not sure I agree with that, but yeah, he wore the helmet because he was the Grand Marshal. No, I really didn't know that. That's actually awesome. It's really awesome. I didn't know that, but it is awesome. Denver Gators in the house. What's up, brother? What is up, man? I know you know that there's been a lot of good things said about the Denver Broncos. Not a good thing as a Chiefs fan, but if you are a Broncos fan, that's some good stuff. Yeah. I would not want Rodgers. I do acknowledge he's a top shelf player, but he's not a Detroit guy at all. That is true. No, he's not a Detroit guy. It'd be interesting, though. It'd be interesting. A2 Goated. Welcome, brother. I don't recognize you, so welcome. Please give me a thumbs up. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. I'm going to do everything I can to try to get to 750 subscribers before the draft. So please Share the video with your friends, share the live stream. Once I start breaking out videos starting July 7th, I'm going to try to engage with a bunch of different fan bases. And I'm really kind of excited about doing that. But for the next month, I'm going to do my live stream. Just kind of take things easy, not too easy, of course. And I promise you, 73% sure I'm not on coke. 73. Yeah, Funk, I took the video of Moby throwing an absolute fit. One Pride 40, if you still have it, send it to me, man. I'm declaring this day. I'm rooting for the Lions. After Dan Campbell's intro speech a few weeks ago, he wants the real Lion at practice and showing up with the helmet, win or lose, the NFL needs. I agree with you, Denver Gator. I've had some really good interaction with the Broncos fans, and it's been fantastic. I'm sorry, I said Broncos, man. I really messed up. Okay, with the Lions fans, they've been fantastic. Luke G, a part of Luke G Field Review, he's been nice enough to let me come on the show twice. I need to have him on here. I was thinking about having him on to break down the NFC North. I might, right now, I'm not going to be able to do that, but I might be able to have him on just to talk about his Lions, and because we do have some Lions love here. But I really like how they're building their team. I like the extra draft picks. They got 2 number ones in 2022 and 2023. They also got the offensive line really solidified, and I like the fact that the defensive line unit, but I do 100% agree that we need more characters as coaches. I think it's a big plus. And I think the Detroit Lions franchise is really going the right way. I'm really impressed with what they're doing. Do I think it's going to mean a lot of wins this year? No, I do not. But I do agree that this is something the NFL needs. And I think the NFL would be a lot more fun with the Detroit Lions as a winning organization. And I think it's coming really soon. Campbell reminds me of a cross between Wayne Fonts and Jim Schwartz. Yeah, I do like it. The NFL does need more of that. Yeah, absolutely. He's a dingbat and claims he is never wrong. He's not talking about me. I think he's talking about this. I don't know who that is, but dude, if you got the video, please send it to me. A2 Goated, who are my top 15 corner? Oh, wow. All my social media links are below. If you would have asked me that earlier in the day, I would have put in a list. Top 15 corners, that's a tough one. I couldn't give you all 15. Just bam, 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 bam. Jalen Ramsey definitely makes the list. Marlon Humphrey, I think is just going to have a fantastic year. He may end up, I think by the end of the year, wouldn't surprise me if Marlon Humphrey is the number 1 corner in football. Oh boy, God. I think those 2 are like the 2 top ones just right off the top of my head. Boy, that's a good one. I couldn't give you 1 through 15 just off the top of my head. I would say number 1 would probably be Jalen Ramsey. I really like his game. Big physical trash talker. He's a guy that I want to hate, but I would love him on my team. Like I said, Marlon Humphrey's guy, I got a major man crush on. I loved his dad, even though he was a Bronco. It was really a shame because his career was just cut short back in was it late 80s when Bobby Humphrey was a running back. If they had technology they did today, he could have played for about 10 to 12 years. But that's a great question, man. Great question. And welcome addition. And not only that, it's great because I am talking about the AFC South. So you had great timing. Great timing. I'm sorry I don't have 15 answers. But do follow me on social media. You can always email me. And if you want to answer that question next show, I can put together a list for you. James, what's up, brother? Very, very glad to see you, man. Very glad to see you. I agree. Bob's dying laughing. He thinks Holmes is an idiot and Campbell, but praise Patricia. And let me tell you, Campbell's been a lot of fun. No, Campbell's something that the NFL does need. Forget fandom. You want characters as coaches, and there's a few of them. There's not too many of them. I mean, Andy Reid's a character, but he's a different type of character. You know, he's a big guy, likes his Philly steaks, Tommy Bahama shirt, fun-loving guy, has like a lot of really funny takes. There used to be a song, it was a Taylor Swift parody of Taylor Swift says, "Never get back together," and it was Andy Reid never getting to the Super Bowl. And this was back in his Philly days. It's actually pretty funny, but I don't know where else going. It's because I'm very jacked up. So Denver Gator says, snap, Dan's getting nervous Broncos in his head. And you know what? The rest of the AFC West should be nervous. Look at that. Look at that offense, okay? Just look at the offense, okay? You get a really good running back, and you got Melvin Gordon. Jerry Jeudy was my number 3 player overall. Number 3. Denver, if I remember right, got him 15. That was a great draft pick. You get a Pro Bowl wide receiver coming back. You got KJ Hamler, a guy that kind of a do-it-all type of guy. Not really a wide receiver type of guy, but supposedly was a 4.25 speed guy, punt, kick, return guy you can use in the slot, use him on end arounds. Tim Sanders really, really took a step up. He's going to make the team. You did lose Deshaun Hamilton. That's a blow, but he's a guy who, honestly, if he didn't get injured, he might not even make the team. Okay, I have no idea where that came from. I got beat. Noah Fant may be the best tight end in football in the next 2 years. Big Noah Fant fan. There's a lot of weapons on that offense. I'm not sure you have the right offensive coordinator, former Giants coach, drawing a blank on his name, but there's a lot to like at Denver. And then you get Bradley Chubb, went to the Pro Bowl last year. You get Von Miller coming back. Vic Fangio is a defensive genius. And then you got a ton of offensive weapons. You also got my number 1 corner as your draft pick. I thought it was smart. And then you added corners because what you're doing is you got to beat Kansas City. Kansas City's won the last 5 AFC West titles. They're going to win the AFC West this year. Who's the number 2 team in the AFC West? Right now it's Denver Broncos. And we'll talk about this more later on. But yeah, the Denver Broncos scare me. They really do. So I'm an MC. Okay, so I got Dan Campbell. Who's MC? Matt, what was it? Dan Campbell. Hold on here. Is it one of your notes here? I don't know who MC is, but yeah, I will say yeah. He was upset. You have to send me some of that stuff because I don't know. This guy does not. You know what? I might have seen some of this stuff, but yeah. I'm rooting Jacks as well. Tebow, Urban Lawrence. They'll be selling jerseys and tickets like flip-flop flat jack. There's a lot to like in Jacksonville. And I'm going to break this down here in a bit. Vrabel is a character. One Pride 40, Colts win the division, and he just came back from the gym. Alex, did you bring enough for the rest? Texans got a better center, offensive line help, and a much better defensive scheme for their players. I think they'll show promise, but no bite. Everything that you're saying, I agree with you 100%, Alex, 100%. I just see myself. I still think that Watson's going to be the quarterback. I think it's going to work out. So yeah. Absolutely. The NFL needs guys like this, win or lose. They need characters like this. So I love it. Yes. Denver. That's awesome, man. That's awesome. We got some Detroit Lions fans bringing in some Detroit Lion love. I think it's fantastic. I promise you guys, even though I'm very jacked up, I'm not on coke. Or dude. Yeah, dude will work. MCDC's from Pat McAfee. I do like his show. I kind of want to do my own thing, but there's a lot of things I should pattern from the McAfee show. He has a few more subscribers than I do. Not too many. I do love PC Principle. If you haven't that there's a DQ. about 2 miles that way. And every now and then I got to get a cookies and cream blizzard. I love the blizzard. All right. There's some good things going on in Detroit. I think this year is going to be tough, but there is some good things. All right, so I'm going to share my screen here, and let's go ahead and let's break down the AFC South. Please let me know if you can see everything. Here, you don't need to look at me just for a second. And here's the odds, and this is William Hill Sportsbook in Iowa. Depending on where you are at, you may be seeing some things differently, but I'm just taking the odds that I got from William Hill Sportsbook. The Indianapolis Colts are the favorite at plus 100. This means a $100 bet will win you 100. And then Tennessee's 120. And that's basically this division is a two-team race. So there's some good. You guys have some good. I'm getting some great comments today, man. This is awesome. You guys are the best. If you think Jacksonville has a chance, this is not a bad number. But I agree with this. I think this is a two-team race. But I think the future is bright for this division because I think Jacksonville's a team that's doing a lot of really good things, and Houston has a lot of good things going. However, we don't know about the quarterback. My draft grades, I'm not going to talk too much about this, but I made 30, I think it was 35 total videos regarding my draft. Indianapolis, keep in mind, I gave them a D+. That was for the Eric Fisher signing. The thing is, though, Eric Fisher ruptured his Achilles tendon in the AFC Championship game. Is he going to be ready to start day one? I don't think so, but that's something that you do have to think about. And they went on the defensive side of the ball, and I do like Kwity Paye, but I still gave Indianapolis a D+. Tennessee, I gave a C+. I really like what they're doing. This is very, very interesting. Jacksonville, I gave a B, and the only reason I gave them a B is they had 2 picks in the second round, and both those picks were major reaches. I thought they really reached, but at the same time, it's not a. It's still, it's hard to say because Urban Meyer was on College Game Day. He has a much better understanding of college football than I do. So it's really hard to say that Urban Meyer whiffed. I'm not disagreeing with that. It's just that they could have traded down, got some additional draft picks. So that's just my opinion. And the Houston Texans, this is sins of the father. The players they got, I really liked. If you took away, if you just took the players they drafted, I'd probably give them a B, maybe a B+. Nico Johnson's a guy I was very, 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 very high on. So over-unders for the year, I'm going to bring this up, and then I'm going to get to all your comments. Right now, Indianapolis is at 10. Here's the thing. There's questions about both these teams, okay? There's questions about both these teams. So I'm going to read off the numbers here, but I'm just going to point out there's question marks about these teams. Indianapolis is a 10. Right now, over 10 is plus 110. The number one team I would bet on to be Tennessee because I can make an argument that they got better, but they did lose a lot of players in free agency. Bud Dupree and Harold Landry could be really, really good. And that's what that team needs. If that front seven clicks, this is going to be a dangerous team. So I do like over 9.5. And this is a great number, by the way. A $100 wager will win you $140. So I really, all of them, this is the number one number I like. Jacksonville, people are very, very high on Jacksonville. I'm telling you this right now, this number is going to go up. All right, this number is going to go up. It's going to hit 6.5, maybe even 7. I'm doing a bunch of hand gestures here for no reason. But this number is going to go up. Okay, I'm warning you right now. This is going to go up. Houston at 4.5. If it becomes official, Tyrod Taylor is going to be a starter. This could drop to 4. I'm going to be very clear, even though Urban Meyer has a lot of respect and a lot of coaching experience, he's still a rookie. So in my opinion, I don't bet on rookie head coaches. I don't bet on rookie head coaches. So I'm going to get your comments, and then I'll get back to breaking down the week 1 matchup. I like McAfee. You know what? I know nothing about baseball, but I follow you on Twitter, so it's kind of interesting. I read all your tweets. I just don't comment on the baseball ones because I don't know anything about them. But nothing but respect. Dude, you comment on my show all the time. You share a lot of my stuff. So yeah, I want your team to win. Thank you, James. He's asking me. This is not me. This is McAfee, by the way. Alex, serious question. Does Houston have a first-round pick in 2022? If you're talking football, the answer is yes. So what would be coaches you consider characters? I don't know if I consider Andy Reid a character, but he is entertaining. Dan Campbell's definitely a character. God, you'd have to go back in time. I thought Ditko was a character. Buddy Ryan was fantastic. Jerry Glanville, one of my all-time favorite coaches. And Glanville and Buddy Ryan, I think they're better coordinators than coaches, but I love them both. Marty Schottenheimer is not a character, but I love Marty Schottenheimer. Right now in the NFL, if you had to give me a coach who's a character, I'd say Dan Campbell, and that's it. That's why the NFL needs more of them. Vrabel said he would cut off his penis to win a Super Bowl. I still don't consider him a character. Gary, welcome, brother. I love your comments. Could the Giants trade both 22 first-rounders to the Saints for Taysom Hill, 2023, 2024 first-round picks? Daniel Jones, Kadarius Toney, Taysom Hill makes Giants offense most unpredictable in the NFL. I'm going to say no. And the reason why is that I really think they're very high on Daniel Jones. I think they're very high on Daniel Jones. I don't think that they want to add Taysom Hill. And the reason why I don't think that they want to do this is because look at your offense. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me rephrase this. I'm doing all these hand gestures. Here's why they're not going to do it. Your offensive coordinator. Oh, God. Oh, please tell me. I can't believe I did this. I cannot believe I had a brain fart. The Dallas Cowboys coach. Oh, God. I am Jason Garrett. Okay, I'm sorry. I had brain freeze. All right. Jason Garrett's going to run the Giants offense exactly like he has the Dallas Cowboys offense. They want to have a big physical offensive line. They want to run the ball with Saquon Barkley, a big physical running back, very, very similar to Ezekiel Elliott. And they want a mobile quarterback like Daniel Jones, who's smart and intelligent and can make a lot of throws. He can't make every throw, but he has some really good arm talent. All right. You have an athletic pass catching tight end. Kadarius Toney, I wasn't super fond. I like the draft value, getting him at 20 is about where you would want to get him. But on the Giants, you already got Sterling Shepard, a guy that they gave a lot of money to, and he's a very similar type player. They need to get a lot out of Galladay. Galladay has to have a monster year. He has to be a number one. But do I think this happens? Absolutely not, because I think they're married to Daniel Jones for this year. They're going to use those 2 first-round picks. If Daniel Jones doesn't pan out, those 2 first-round picks is going to be trade bait for a quarterback. So that's what's going to happen. Taysom Hill, I think, will stay for right now, because right now, to the best of my knowledge, they're still working on that quarter. But Jameis Winston's going to win that job. So, and I think that Taysom Hill's going to take over, and he may have to replace Jameis Winston if Winston gets hurt. Now, I'm not saying Winston's injury prone or anything, but I mean, you do have 17 games. You need 2 decent quarterbacks, and I think that's what's going to happen with the Saints. So, do I think this happens? Absolutely not. I think that they want to hold their draft picks and hope Daniel Jones pans out, and then they'll get creative with those 2 first-round draft picks, because I do see them using one of them to trade down out of the first round and get more trade capital so they can continue building the team. But as you recall from last week, I do think the Giants are going to win that division and be a very dangerous team. So I do believe if we are able to trade Watson, we will get a first-round pick, maybe 2 or more, but I don't know who there is exactly coming from the next draft. Next draft, there is some quarterbacks coming out. There's not like a Trevor Lawrence or a Joe Burrow. Remember, Joe Burrow kind of came out of nowhere. He was like a 7th-round pick going into the season. Then he had that fantastic college football season. JT Sullivan, I believe, is the Georgia quarterback. I think he goes number 1. The Clemson quarterback in 2023, I don't know his name. I think he'll go number 1 in 2023. As a true freshman against Notre Dame, he looked phenomenal. I mean, I was just floored. I mean, he was mobile. He was athletic. His arm was amazing. Extremely athletic, and I think he's like 250. I mean, you might remember Dante Culpepper. That's who he reminded me of. He reminded me of Dante Culpepper, a big, athletic, big-armed guy who looked like a tight end who could run with a cannon for an arm. That's who he reminded me of. And I mean that the 2023 draft, but JT Sullivan, he's a Georgia quarterback. I think he's going to go number 1. I think his stock's going to skyrocket, and I'm still doing these insane hand gestures, but I really think Georgia is a national championship contender. I think this may be the year they finally beat Alabama, because it's really just a matter of time. They're stockpiling talent in Athens, but my college knowledge is not near my pros. But Georgia, if you had to put a gun on my head, who's going to win national championship? I'm saying Georgia. Georgia's loaded this year. Texas A&M also is a dark horse. Watch out for A&M. They're building a really good team. I was actually hoping Kellen Mond would come back, because if he did, I think I would put a little bit on A&M. But with Mond gone, I pass on that. If you set up like Matt, you know what? I would love. I keep saying this, and like I said, I'm gonna take the next month off, but I'm gonna try to get a phone line. I think I know how to do it. I'm also going to buy headphones, so I can't listen to the noise that's around me. Hopefully, it's not too bad. I have some noisy neighbors from upstairs, but I'm going to get some headphones, and I think I'm going to get like a call-in line. I know Luke G did that for a while. I have to ask him why he stopped. The time that I went in on his show, I had to call in to a different number. So I would love to get some more people on the show, get some more interaction, because you guys come up with some really great stuff, and I'm the only one doing the talking. I'm really the last guy who should be doing the talking. So I would love it. Me and you should talk about maybe you coming in. I can add you to the conversation right now, by the way. I don't know if you know that, but I can send you a link. You could actually join. There'll be like you as an icon that will kind of flash. And if you want to come on sometime, actually shoot me a message, because maybe we should be doing that. And I need to get more of you guys in here, because as much as I love talking, I really should do more listening and hearing what you guys have to say. Bill Cowher. Yes, I forgot. I loved Bill Cowher. Excuse me. Listen to this, by the way. Early 90s Chiefs coaching staff. Bruce Arians, Mike McCarthy, Bill Cowher, defensive coordinator, Tony Dungy, secondary coach, Herm Edwards, special teams coach. Not a bad coaching staff. And there's somebody else on that coaching staff who's really good, too. And I'm drawing a blank. I think Jack Del Rio is now the defensive coordinator in I think he was still on the team as a linebacker, but yeah. Gary Shore. Oh, okay. Okay. He's responding to this. I think the Giants are very happy, and I think that they're going to keep those picks. But Cowher you remember when he took the picture when the referees blew a call? They said too many men on the field, or there wasn't. There's 12 men against the Steelers, and the rest missed the call. So he had a photo, shoved it in the referee's pocket. He got in a lot of trouble. He got in a ton of trouble for that. But yes, today's NFL, James Willis. I don't know if he's really a character. I would say a QB would be tempted. We did draft a. Here's the deal. If you trade Watson, I think you need to get somebody back because you went ahead and went with Mills this year. I actually think you'll use the best player available. To tell you the truth, and by the way, if you don't believe me, ask One Pride 40 because One Pride 40 turned me on to him. Thibodeau, that defensive end out of Oregon. I've been watching a little bit of him. I'm going to get more into it. But Thibodeau, the defensive end out of Oregon, would be perfect for what you're wanting to run. He's kind of I think he's a pure 4-3 defensive end, but he has a lot of characteristics that you could in the right scheme possibly put him at 3-4 outside linebacker. But I said Detroit Texans, I'm sorry. With the Houston Texans, what they want to do, Thibodeau would be perfect. He would be perfect for that defense. So let's just say they have the first pick in the draft. I think it's Thibodeau. Right now, today, of course, he tears his ACL. JT Sullivan looks really good. Yeah, I mean, there's 1,000,001 things that could happen. It's June, so we don't know. But I like I said, I'm going to stand by it. I still think Watson stays in Houston. Mike, welcome, brother. Oh, man. Woody Hayes. Oh, God. God, we're talking college coaches. We could be here for a very long time. Woody Hayes was a phenomenal character. It was actually a damn shame his coaching career ended the way it did. But, oh, wow. Yeah, Woody Hayes. If you don't know the story, Woody Hayes, his last game as head coach, punched an opposing player. Interesting story, but I maybe I shouldn't say this. I'm a huge Woody Hayes fan, believe it or not. College coaches, I think Harbaugh's a character. I'm almost hoping he comes back to the NFL. Trying to think here, college. Well, okay, let's stay on track. Big Woody Hayes fan. Awesome to have you here, Mike. One Pride, I think it's a fair trade. Saints would have 3 first-rounders in a QB-heavy draft. Giants have 4 first-rounders. I just don't think the Giants are interested. I think it's a no on the Giants, not the Saints. And I think Winston will become the Saints quarterback, and then he'll become a lot more interesting as far as trade bait. Remember, the Saints are paying him a lot of money too. So that's another thing I think that will really kind of be in there. So Houston's D will be much better. Our players are more built for the Tampa 2 system. As I heard, they aren't going to be asked to do stuff their own. Yeah, I agree. And Thibodeau is perfect for that Tampa 2 system. He's that pass rusher. And the way things are going right now, that's kind of what I see happening with the Houston Texans. So, I actually think that the Houston Texans, actually, I love everything that they've done. Philip Lindsay, a player I was really glad as a Chiefs fan to get out of the AFC West. He's going to be perfect for that team. It wouldn't surprise me if Lindsay, if he's able to stay healthy, has a major season with the Houston Texans. Hopefully they can use him correctly because he's a smaller guy, but he's a inside the tackles type of guy. It's hard to, I'm going to go on a rant, but Philip Lindsay in Houston was a brilliant move. And I was really happy to get him away from playing the Chiefs twice a year. One of my favorite players. So there's a lot of things I like about the Houston Texans. If Watson comes back, watch out. They're a dangerous team, believe it or not. But again, the whole Watson situation. I'm high on the Jags, 4th favorite team right now, and you should be. I don't know how good they'll be this year, but Urban Meyer, if you look at what he did at Ohio State and at Florida and at Utah, and even before that, I think he started in, I think it was Kent State. I could be wrong, but he built a really innovative, creative offense in college, and I think he's going to do a lot of things in the NFL. And then on defense, they're using a 3-4 scheme, which is really key because I thought going into last year, K'Von Chase, and he was their, I think, 18th pick overall last year. And he's a 3-4 outside linebacker. And the year before that, they drafted Josh Allen. He's a 3-4 outside linebacker, and they played him as defensive ends, which didn't make any sense because look at your division. All right. You have Jonathan Taylor, 230-pound running back. You have King Henry, a 250-pound running back. Why are you playing the outside linebackers at defensive ends when you're utilizing speed but giving up size in a run-heavy division? It didn't make any sense. Now they're switching to a multifaceted 3-4 defense, which is brilliant, absolutely brilliant, because you have Josh Allen and K'Von Van Chase, and now you can get them in space, use their athleticism. I'm excited about their defense because I'm looking at their defensive front. I'm seeing a front seven that's now very active and extremely athletic. Miles Jack, a lot of people forget what an athlete he is. He's going to be used as an outside linebacker. You can get very creative with this guy. Failed as a middle linebacker. The middle linebacker, I'm drawing a blank on his name. I think he had like 150, 160 tackles, tackling machine. He'll be perfect in this scheme. They also made some changes on the defensive line, which I really liked. The front seven of Jacksonville could be a really damn good defense. It's just really a question of time. And then on the offensive side of the ball, you're going to get some creativity. And I'm going to touch base on the creativity here in just a second. I'll read more of these comments, and I'm going to kind of touch base on some of the things, especially right here. Mike. Gary, it's not true. Gary's just proposing a trade. He's a Giants fan and he doesn't like Daniel Jones. I think you're going to be very happy with Daniel Jones. I think he's going to have a good year. So I'll tell you this right now. I don't think the Giants are interested in trading. So I think King is going to be a definite upgrade. I believe we have a good running back core as compared to last year. I'm a big Philip Lindsay fan. I think there's a lot of things to like about the Houston Texans. I think the Houston Texans are a really sneaky team. That's why when I talk about this, I'm not taking anything on a rookie head coach. I don't bet on rookie head coaches, but this is a good bet. Of all the bets here, but I have a section that's my best bet section, and I'm going to go over that here in just a bit. But there's a lot of things to like about the Houston Texans. Modern day NFL coach character, I think it's Dan Campbell. And is there anybody else besides Dan Campbell? John Harbaugh. And if you want to call Andy Reid a character, John Gruden, I don't know. I don't know if you call Gruden and Reid characters or not. I don't think so, but you can make a case for it. You could definitely make a case for both those guys. But if you had to give me a modern day NFL coach character, I think it's Dan Campbell, and that's it. Ditka, Coward, Gruden, Stram, Reed, Singletary, Campbell, Bum Phillips. Oh, did I leave out Bum Phillips? Did I leave out Bum Phillips? How did I leave out Bum Phillips? Oh, God, some great names in there. Hank Stram, surprised you came up with that one. That's a good one. Big character. Big character. We could also go with Bud Grant. I think he was awarded in the Vikings Ring of Honor and wore a short sleeve shirt in the playoff game. It was like -10 because he's a stud. He says Coward, but he means Bill Cowher. Yeah. And oh God, how did we leave Jerry Glanville? One of my all-time favorites. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Sorry, guys. Am I getting names wrong again? All right. I'm not on drugs. All right. I think people should be more conscious to their coach having most of his experience from. And that's a big thing, though, about Urban Meyer. And that's the reason why I'm not betting on it. But this number is going to go up because now here's the deal. He's widely respected NFL coaches. He attended a lot of camps. He's really good friends with Belichick. Smart guy. However, people that think Jacksonville is going to be a wild card team, no. There's an adjustment period they're going to have to go to. I got it. Hopefully everybody else did. So, would I consider Arians a character? No, I wouldn't. Ooh, I forgot about Pete Carroll. Pete Carroll more than Arians, but I would. You know what? Pete Carroll's yes. Arians is entertaining, and Pete Carroll maybe. So out of all the head coaches hired, which team absolutely nailed their hire so far? You can't. Okay, if you had to give me one, I would say Jacksonville. I'd want to say Jacksonville, but you can't tell. I like Saleh a lot more in New York because I really love what he's done with the defensive line. And if you're Robert Saleh, that wide 9 defense is predicated on the defensive line, and they're in sync. But you can't answer that yet. But if you had to give me one, I'd say Jacksonville. I'd say Jacksonville. It's DJ Smith, and yes, he's going to be a stud. He's going to be the first pick in 2023. He did it when his channel first started. Oh, okay. Okay. I think I got what you're saying. I join in a here. Okay. Heartbeat. Oh, okay. Hey, you know what? I need to get more people involved in the show so it's more than just me talking. So yeah, I really should be doing that. Who was the Georgia quarterback? The Georgia quarterback, I think I keep saying JT Sullivan, but it's JT Daniels. I think one probably got me on it. So I'm wrong with names, but if you had to say today, right now, this is June without one snap of college football. JT Daniels, I keep saying Sullivan, the Georgia quarterback. So yeah. Sorry for taking the second to say anything. Our worst hitter just got a holy shit. All right, it's awesome, man. Hey, Alex, you talk baseball whenever you want in here. I'm doing all these insane hand gestures. I have no idea why. Funk is 100% correct here. DJ's the guy. DJ from Clemson. This guy went the Lions to draft in 2023. Next year, I want them to trade back and gain an additional 2023 first rounder. I actually, believe it or not, Funk, this is kind of funny because me and you are agreeing a lot. I really think this is the Lions' plan. I really do. I think the Lions are going to fall in love with this kid. And I think that the way they're going to structure their draft this next year in 2022, I actually think they're going to take one of those picks, and I think they're going to trade down, try to get more draft capital so that in 2023 they can go all in on this kid. I actually think that's what the Lions are going to do. I really, really firmly believe that. You know what? He's actually perfect for what the Lions want to do. But if you're running a Tampa 2 scheme, you need to have a player like Thibodeau. And I actually think the Houston Texans, if they get the first pick in the draft, which most people are predicting, that's player who I have them taken. So, yeah. Oh God, Denver Gator burned me here. Why the Chief stack was stacked in the 90s? No wonder you guys won so many Super Bowls back in the day. I loved Marty Ball. I loved Marty Ball. If you had to tell me who would I like better, Schottenheimer or Reed, it's a hard call. Maybe Schottenheimer, but that coaching staff was loaded. Yes, it was loaded. And then they got rid of a bunch of guys when I think when they brought in Montana, they got rid of both Aarons and McCarthy, if I remember right. And then Cowher, of course, took the job in Pittsburgh. I think he took it in 91. It may have been 92. Because I remember he came back in 93 and took the Chiefs to overtime in the playoffs. Chiefs won that game. And that 93 season was really memorable, but they got killed by a really good Bills team in the AFC Championship. And it is Daniels. Thank you, One Pride 40. Rattler. All right, and I have to watch more of him. I watch Rattler play a lot. Being in the Kansas City area, I watch a lot of Big 12 football, and I've seen a lot of OU play. And I do like Rattler as an OU quarterback. He's a Heisman candidate. Here's the problem is I think he's 6 foot 195, which means that if he's listed at 6 foot 6'1", 195, he's probably closer to 5'11", 175. He does not look like he has an NFL arm to me. From what little I've seen of him, he's highly accurate. You may not remember this kid. His name was Jason White. He threw like 60 touchdowns. He won the Heisman Trophy and did not go drafted because he didn't have an NFL arm. And that's what I see out of Spencer Rattler. However, I've been wrong before, so I'll take a look. I don't think Rattler's an NFL quarterback, period. I actually think Rattler's closer to being undraftable than I think he's the first pick. I think he's small. I don't see an NFL arm. However, let's take a look at him next year because he started. I think he's only a redshirt sophomore. So, he's dedicated. I mean, there's a lot of things to like about this Rattler kid. There's a lot of things. I just don't think he's an NFL quarterback. I'm doing all these incredible hand gestures here. He could though. Be a guy who could easily be a first round pick. We'll see. What I've seen of him so far, he's not an NFL quarterback. I'm actually high on Houston native that plays for Sam Houston State, Eric Schmidt, mainly a pocket passer with great accuracy. This is why I have the show, Alex, is I want to hear things like this. I know that they have a really good – Sam Houston State has a really good small school program. I have not watched them at all, but this is the whole point of the show. I will watch them. I will watch him this year. So, yeah. We'll have to see what he can do. He led his team to win their championship game this year, and he's, in my opinion, a really good guy. If helped develop, could be a start. And I think you mean the NFL. Let me ask you, is he still at Sam Houston State? Is there a chance, or did he go pro and got picked up by Houston's undrafted rookie free agent? I actually don't know. So. But if he's still in college, I'll do my best to watch him this year. I'm going to do my best to watch more college football this year, but I say that every year. So I don't see what NFL team would take Harbaugh after an abysmal legacy thus far. Chicago Bears. Matter of fact, it would not surprise me if the Bears fall apart if John Harbaugh is the Chicago Bears head coach in 2022. So I actually think it's a very good possibility. Because he's recruiting really well in Michigan. You should know this. So you probably know better than I do. I think I saw somewhere where he has a top 10 recruiting class. It just hasn't turned into wins. But I could see him going to the NFL, and I could see a team like the Chicago Bears saying, hey, we're going to scrap everything. We're going to bring Harbaugh back, and we're going to be competitive because they got a guy who's like a college quarterback. And then they also got the rookie left tackle, which we haven't talked too much about. And we'll talk more about the Bears when I break down the NFC North. But if you had to give me a team that Jim Harbaugh, would coach, it'd be Chicago Bears, and it could happen next year. And you're right, the Bears would be desperate. Houston is only 2 running. You're not wrong, man. They got a lot of guys. I like I said, I think it's a good move, though. I think they should be a run-heavy team, especially when the quarterback situation's crazy. So they got a lot of backs. Denver, yeah, they do. And I'm sorry, I am really Pride. I would love Thibodeau but then we can't use our first next year to trade back. We would gain a first for 2023, but Thibodeau would be awesome for what. It sounds like the defense. Actually, to tell you the truth, I think there's a good chance you use your first-round draft pick on Thibodeau, and then you use your other first-round draft pick to trade down and acquire more draft capital so you can get 3 first-round picks for 2023. But it would not surprise me if Thibodeau is chosen by the Lions in the first pick. But there's a lot of hype around the Lions, but I'm not sure. But there's a very good chance you could use your first pick on Thibodeau. Very good chance. And yes, he's exactly what the Detroit Lions are looking for. If the Houston Texans had the first pick in the draft, which a lot of people are saying, that would be the guy I would take at number 1. So it was pretty funny. There are other options, but when it comes to D's next draft, Thibodeau is a freak. He is. David Coley's I don't know too much about him. I know I've heard some really, really good things about him, really good things. And I hope that no matter what happens, I hope he gets another chance to stay as the Houston Texans head coach. Even if they do get the first pick in the draft, they go 2-15 or whatever, I hope he stays around for another year. Bot, an aggressive guy, a very kind heart. I did not know that. Daniel, do you think the 2022 quarterback class is not great, but why would the Giants draft a quarterback in 2022? Class is deep on D-line and decent linebacker. Well, first of all, we don't know yet because you got somebody like Joe Burrow who came out of absolutely nowhere last year, and he ended up being, 2 years ago, he ended up being first pick in the draft. There are a lot of good quarterbacks in this draft. It's just nobody's stepping up right now and looks elite. However, if JT Daniels beats Alabama, and there's a very good chance because that team is loaded, then more than likely, hey, if you can beat Alabama, you're going to be the first pick in the draft. Case in point, Joe Burrow, he beat Alabama, won the national championship, first pick in the draft. So that's kind of how I'm looking at it. And I also disagree with you. I think there's a very good chance that Giants really love Daniel Jones. Don't rule Daniel Jones out. He was a 6th overall pick, and he's shown a lot of flashes. So, yeah. Thibodeau is a little small, but the Lions are going to flowers at linebacker. Well, yeah, and here's the deal. He's going to put on weight. I don't think he's going to play this year at 250. Some guy I follow on Instagram, I think I want to promote him or say anything out of line. I don't think he'd mind, but he has him listed, I think, at like 6'5", 250. More than likely, he's probably going to bulk up. If he's smart, he probably plays this year in the 260 range and then goes to the combine at high 260s, low 270s. But I think he would be better off at 6'5" to be seen as a pure 4-3 defensive end. I hate to say it because Myles Garrett's an absolute freak, but he reminds me a lot of Myles Garrett. So I'm not sure what this means. Name a Georgia court. I love it. And by the way, I've always liked, we talk about characters. Steve Spurrier is one of my all-time favorite college coaches. So, yeah. Meyer looks like it. I don't agree with that, but we'll see. I think JT Daniels is eligible for a 2022 draft because he's been in. Yes, no, Gary, he is 100% eligible next year. I think if you had to give me today the first player in the draft, it's JT Daniels. He is eligible next year. And I think he will go number 1 because I think Georgia will beat Alabama this year, and I think they'll win the national championship. So, yeah. Alex has listed a few of Coley's press conferences, and he doesn't like to bring – I haven't noticed this. By the way, Alex, this is the whole point of this channel is I want to hear about this. I want to hear everything about this. You can message me on Twitter. You can send me links, send me videos, send me everything. I want to know everything I can about Houston Texans stuff in Kansas City I don't hear. I think they take a quarterback. Houston, remember they took David Mills. They took David Mills as the first pick that they had in this year's draft, and Mills has a world of potential, but he's been injury prone. He stays healthy. He could be their starter in 2022 if Watson's not available. Urban Meyer will very shortly be an above. I think so too, Mike. I really think so too. I don't think that he's going to do it immediately, but I'm going to talk about this here in a little bit because I want to talk about week 1 matchups, but I do agree with this completely. I heard his character is bad. It's hard to believe a Michigan fan is calling an Ohio State coach with bad character. I heard some things, but he's extremely well respected. I don't want my Texans to pick a QB unless he's a definite hit if they get the first pick. If the Houston Texans have the first pick in the draft, I 100% believe they'll take Thibodeau because he fits what they're wanting to do on defense. If you're going to run that Tampa 2 defense, you got to do it with pressure with the front 4. And they got the TCU defensive tackle. They didn't really use it. Ross Blacklock. They got him, and I love him in that defense. He could be a dominant defensive tackle, which is something that even though they had Watt, they didn't have a dominant inside presence. Blacklock could be a monster. And you got him. You still got Merciless, who's I think going to be a really, really good player in this defense. You get a guy like Thibodeau on the other side. That's kind of what I see going on with the Houston Texans. So, Another thing is the Saints have 3 first-rounders in my trade. They could trade some of the 2023 first-rounders and draft DJ Smith, Clemson QB, or Bryce Young QB from Alabama. I really personally believe that, you have to understand something. Okay, number one, I think the Saints are really going to fall in love with Jameis Winston. Okay, I think the Saints are going to go all in with Winston. And I also think Daniel Jones is somebody the Giants really like. I don't think this is – I get what you're saying. I get 100% what you're saying. I think the Saints are happy in their quarterback situation. I think the Giants are going to be happy in their quarterback situation. And Bryce Young, we have yet to see, but I'm actually looking forward to watching him play. So I get what you're saying. Makes a ton of sense. It really does. You have some great points. The only thing I'm going to say is that I think the Giants and the Saints are happy with their quarterback situation right now. Of course, everything could change. This is June. Watson could still be. I still think Watson's going to be the quarterback for Houston Texans. Okay, he's a senior, Alex. If I do forget, I'm going to do my best to try to watch some Sam Houston State. I bet you I can get a few games on DVR. So please remind me in the upcoming weeks, because right now I canceled cable. I'm only going to bring cable back. I'm going to do YouTube TV this year. Do not use Fubo under any circumstances. They suck. You can message me directly, but I'm going to use YouTube TV. I'm going to try to watch as much college football as I can. And I know for a fact that I can probably get a few of those games on DVR. So please remind me. Chuck, welcome, brother, man. Thank you, by the way. By the way, everybody give me a thumbs up. I'm doing all these hand gestures, but nobody can see me. So the rookie left tackle should be a right tackle. He's talking about the Bears who drafted Tevin Jenkins. I actually thought that when they drafted him, he would be the right tackle. Then they released their left tackle, so I don't get it. So Harbaugh's been a disaster with the Q. He actually has. Remember that quarterback he got from Ole Miss, and I can't remember his name. He was a 5-star player, and I thought he was going to be a superstar Heisman candidate. The last quarterback who I loved, I watched him play, and I'm like, oh, God, this guy could be a Heisman candidate. He's now in Georgia, the tight end, the big guy. The guy that you got now, I want to say he was Indiana or Michigan Player of the Year. Doesn't look great, but you get a full offseason. We'll have to see what happens. But, yeah. Houston Texans, who needs – I think Serini looks like a disaster. Which one's Serini? I'm sorry, I'm behind on quarterback or behind on comments. I apologize. Who needs a head coach? Pro comp for JT Daniels, quarterback in Georgia. It's not the best one, but I will tell you this: the guy who he kind of reminds me of is Sam Darnold, who I loved Sam Darnold coming out of college. So I know that's not a great comparison, but that's who he reminds me of. If I remember right, he's like 6'4", 220. He has some mobility. He's got a really good, not great arm. There's a lot of things to like about him, but the thing that you're going to have to watch is how's he play. There's one game. How's he play against Alabama? But here's the thing: Georgia's loaded with all sorts of skill position talent this year. This may be the first time in 5, 6, 7 years that Georgia may have better skill position talent than Alabama. So, hey, and I'm going to go back to this real fast. I'm going to talk about these 3 games. Jacksonville at Houston. I'm really surprised. By the way, if it becomes official that Watson's not going to play, this number is going to change. Okay, it's really rare that a road team, especially with a rookie first-time head coach, but if you're convinced, and it sounds like some of you are, that Watson's not going to be the starting quarterback, take this number now. It's a great number. And I'm going to touch base on this here in a bit. Arizona at Tennessee and Seattle, Indianapolis. It's kind of funny because I think both these games, if you noticed, It's plus 2.5. For those of you that are experienced sports bettors, you know that home field advantage is usually 3 points. Right now, it looks like Vegas has just the opposite, because if you look at all of these, 2.5, that's what you're getting, right? It looks like right now Vegas is using 2.5 as a home field advantage for you experienced bettors. So Arizona at Tennessee, I think is a pretty good one. Seattle at Indianapolis. When I say good one, they're really, really good games. I'm not sure I would take action on any of these. However, this one really stands out because 2.5 for 2 rookie head coaches is really good. And I can't believe, I don't know how to adjust that either. So, all right, all right, a little sloppy there, but yeah. And then next, I have my best bets for the AFC South, but I'm going to get back to your comments, which these are gold, by the way. Today, you guys deserve an A++. So your comments are gold. I need to get you guys on the air. That's what I really need to do. I need to get you guys either joining my show. I think I can do like an invite. Actually, I can do an invite guests to the broadcast studio. I'd rather test it out before I do it. So, but I need to do that soon. This is just awesome. This is awesome. I was talking about Rattler with the character. Oh, Spencer Rattler. Okay. Wow. You're Michigan. I did not mean to offend you, One Pride 40. It was a bad joke, so I apologize. I think what we need to do, hear me out, is only Alex, you're on fire today, man. You're on fire. QB from Liberty. Yes. By the way, if you haven't seen this kid, he's a dual threat quarterback, and he's a dark horse Heisman candidate. But if you haven't had a chance, he's that good. Okay, Sirani's the Eagles coach. Okay, I have not heard anything from him yet. And the kid from Cincinnati, you're right, he is coming back. I actually thought he was a senior this year, but I think you're right. I think he was a junior, and he's coming back. He's also a Heisman candidate. He's a dark horse Heisman. Cincinnati, by the way, if you haven't been paying attention, the University of Cincinnati's loaded. They're going to win 10 games. They'll probably finish top 15, 20, but they're building something really good in Cincinnati. I shouldn't admit this, but I'm an NCAA junkie, and one of my favorite teams of all time was Cincinnati. I built this awesome team from Cincinnati once. For those, JT Pro Comp, maybe a taller version of Baker. Maybe. Thing about Baker Mayfield is I always thought he was a natural passer, which is I haven't watched enough of JT, but I think more Darnold, but maybe. I guess today I really think that he is the Heisman favorite. He would be my Heisman favorite because if you haven't paid attention, Georgia's skill position talent is loaded. This may be the first time in a very long time their skill position talent's actually higher than Alabama. You're talking, the quarterbacks. Okay, I did not know that. Willis is Liberty. Okay. Texans aren't favored no, they are not. If Watson starts, and we'll talk about this in the back. That's why Alex is on fire today. The Giants keep their 22 first rounders with non-QB position or positions are likely a draft in the first round. I think defensive line, because Tomlinson being out is going to hurt. And I really think that you want somebody next to Williams. In the past, they've never done linebacker, but that might be a possibility. You may want to get another outside linebacker next to Ojulari. More than likely, though, I would say corner. I really think that they'll go corner. And is there a chance? Right now, a lot of people feel like Thibodeau and Derek Stingley. Derek Stingley is the LSU corner, the two top players in the draft. So that would be an option. The thing is, though, I think the Giants are not going to be in a position to go ahead and draft Stingley. I think he's going to go top 5, maybe top 3. Outside chance he goes number 1. So there's a lot of things to like, but I would say defensive line and corner. That would be off the top of my head. Now, remember, they signed Adoree Jackson. They gave him a lot of money. I don't think he's worth the money, but they are investing in the quarterback position. They have a lot of really good safeties. Jabril Peppers was fantastic. The second-round pick from Alabama, I'm drawing a blank on his name. They both kind of play like a hybrid strong safety type position. And then they had a corner. He was a corner at, I want to say it was, it's something Love. I can't remember, but he was a corner and he moved him to safety. He's kind of like a weird hybrid thing. But I think corner something that they could really address. They could trade up and try to get Stingley, which kind of makes sense because, I mean, let's face it, you want to be able to compete with Dallas, who has 3 really good wide receivers. And another thing is that the Washington's building something good. And then Philly also drafted a Heisman Trophy winner at wide receiver. So, Funk, you have deserved it. You should feel special. You are fantastic. So, yeah. Pro comp for Malik Willis, quarterback, Liberty. God, he doesn't. The only guy he reminds me of would be Lamar Jackson, and that's not really fair. Because the differences between him and Lamar is that I think Lamar Jackson's significantly bigger and has a much bigger arm, but that would be it. So it's not really fair. So I can't really give you a pro comp, and I feel like Lamar Jackson's kind of lazy. You could, in all fairness, go with who just got cut recently, John Johnson, who's been a journeyman quarterback. And I think he's a guy that if he does stay in the NFL, he'd be better off going to Canada. But if he does stay in the NFL, I don't think he ever will be a starter. I think he's too small. If I'm correct, I think he's like 6'1", 205, maybe 210. So that's kind of another thing that we have to take a look at. But he's kind of a smaller guy, but a ton of fun to watch. And anytime you come from a smaller college like that, it's so hard to transition to the pro game. But he is a guy that is, if you're a college football fan, keep an eye out on him. He could be a late round surprise somewhere. So, David Gumpy Old Gringo Senior, welcome, brother. Cincinnati is a good team to watch this year, especially QB. Rattler may perform great because he's in Oklahoma, but it seems like everybody thinks he's a team. I have not heard this, but I don't think he's an NFL quarterback. But I mean, he's a Heisman candidate. So, Gary, what do you think about Salah so far? That's interesting. Wait, Texans have signed nothing but running backs and tight ends, nothing but TD and. Bugs with it. Sounds like the Bears. Oh, shit. This is awesome. Let's go, Funk. You know as well as me, it's an unstoppable team. It is. Grumpy is the pop. Say hi to the guy who bought my mom History of the NFL book for my first birthday. She still hasn't let him live it down. That is awesome. He sounds like a terrific father. Great kids. Great family. You guys are fantastic. So, yes, Alex, if you can get 2 TJ Hawkinsons and 3 Marshall Faulks, oh, God, this is so good. I like the safeties of the 2022 class, especially Brandon Joseph out of Northwestern and Jordan Battle, safety from Alabama. Battle is going to be a first-round draft pick. I don't know too much about Brandon Joseph. So now, my best bet for the AFC South, and I keep on saying that, I keep on saying I'm going to say this, and I'll save it for later. Here it is. Jacksonville minus 2.5 at Houston, even if Watson plays. Now, if Watson is out, this number is going to change. So I firmly believe that with or without Watson, you want to take Jacksonville. The reason why is that you have 2 rookie head coaches, right? So with 2 rookie head coaches, which one's got the more head coaching experience? Which one's more innovative? That all points to Urban Meyer. I think week 1, he's going to throw a lot of things out that are going to be very confusing. Their defensive coordinator comes from the Ravens. Even though he's a first-year defensive coordinator, he's going to run a hybrid 3-4 type of defense Jacksonville's built for. I think week 1, this is easily my favorite bet. However, is this number going to stay? The answer is no, it's not going to stay. But if you are able to take action on it, this is something that I don't recommend doing it now, because if 2 weeks before the season starts, Trevor Lawrence tears his ACL or there's an injury on the offensive line. But this is something I'm paying a lot of attention to, because I really do like Jacksonville in this one. This is my number 1 bet. So now you get to see the talent. And I need to get you guys on the air, and I need to start doing that soon. That's a great idea. You guys have been gold today. This is my favorite thing to do. I've been looking forward all week to doing this. It is part of my summer vacation. I'm just going to do just the show until July 7th, when I start breaking out all 32 NFL teams. So it's going to be a lot of fun. But thank you very much for all the support. Make sure that you share this video. Give me thumbs up. And I'm going to try as a goal to get to 750 before the season starts, and get close to that magical goal of 1,000. But I'm just, like I said, I'm just enjoying my summer vacation. Just been looking forward to just talking football. And next week we are going to, unless something changes dramatically, I'm planning on doing the NFC South next week. So, I mean, we'll start looking. So, I like I said, if I could do anything in the world, I just want to hang out and talk football, and that's what I'm doing. I could be out on a date with a beautiful girl, of course, shower first, or I could sit here and I could talk football. And I'm here talking football. It's what I want to do. This is awesome. I agree, Gary and Bubba Bolden and Kyle. Are these more running backs for Alex's all This is, by the way, this is, you know, I can cuss on my own show. This is fucking fantastic. So Denver Gators giving some love to his dad. That is fantastic. He'll start looking right now. You don't need safety. You just need running backs and tight ends. Alex has already started. This is fantastic. Look up Brandon Joseph, safety, Northwestern, one-handed interception in the end zone. Amazing play. He must have big hands, very athletic. I have not. I really haven't watched Northwestern. I'm really hoping to do a lot more of college football. I'm going to try to DVR. Here's what I do, and it normally doesn't work out. I'm going to DVR a lot of college football, but I normally don't get around to watching it just due to my work schedule. However, I am going to DVR a lot of college football. Hopefully I can watch more of it. And then that when the draft comes around, I can actually give my own opinion of players I love. So I will do my best to try to watch a lot of Big Ten football this year. Being I'm in Kansas City, I watch a lot of Big 12 football, which I really don't like. It's like basketball, though. I mean, it's like a low-scoring game in Big 12 football. It's like 40-30. And I'm more of a defensive, old-school type of guy. That's why I like Big 10 football. And, of course, I've been saying it for, I think, as long as I've been alive. It's SEC plays the best. I really should be watching more Pac-12 football, but I don't have an opportunity to do that. Wasn't that the corner, Greg Newsome, who made that play? I thought it was Newsome who made that play, because I do think I know what you're talking about, but I thought Newsome made it. I could be wrong. I think our team would need some safeties. What about 6 safeties, 5 defensive tackles? Oh, God. It was okay. It's the safety who made that play. I'll start watching him, because I was not aware of him. But Northwestern's a team I think that will kind of go down. I mean, they had 2 first-rounders, and I know that they're recruiting. I know Michigan had a big recruiting class. Ohio State, I think, might have had the best recruiting class in the country, if I'm correct. But I don't think Ohio State's ready to compete. they're ready to get into the Final Four. I don't think they're ready to compete with the SEC big boys this year. But they are loaded. I mean, go. It wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me if Ohio State goes undefeated. Actually, I don't think they'll go undefeated. I think they'll lose a game, win the Big Ten, go against an SEC team in the college football, whatever you call it, and lose right away. I'm fully aware they beat Clemson last year, but if Clemson plays Ohio State in the football playoff, I would bet on Clemson, all things being equal. I don't know, Funk. Running back. 8 George Kittles. Well, look at this here. George Kittle started. Hawkinson backed him up, and then they also had Noah Fant. So look at Iowa. So something about Iowa there. If they could just have the Texans start running backs and tight ends plus 3 safety, I'd be. How about a team of kickers and punters? Okay, we are going crazy today. This is the type of show it is. It is a fantastic show. Of course, you guys make it fantastic. I'm just the eye candy. And our special teams are nothing but punters. I forgot, you guys don't have a kicker on the roster, if I'm correct. That is kind of something that's very interesting. So. All right, guys. We are past an hour 20. I think I'll go ahead and get things wrapped up. I cannot thank you guys enough for joining the show today, talking football. The comments today might have been the best ever. You guys make the show. I really should have you guys on talking with me and going back and forth. I should get a call-in line. There's a link that I could put here to invite you guys into the chat. I need to test it out before I go ahead and bring it in. But, yeah. Excuse me, it's not the cocaine, though, I promise. So, I mean, yeah, you guys, this is my favorite thing in the world to do is just talk football. For the next month, I'm going to just be kind of taking it easy. But starting in July, I'll be releasing my videos. Please share. And I'm looking forward to getting some really good feedback from my videos. Hopefully, I can get up to 750 subscribers before the season starts. I will also keep you guys informed. I'm a little nervous because a buddy of mine said don't talk about going to Vegas because one of his friends did that and his friend got robbed. Of course, he lives in the hood. I live in a semi-decent neighborhood. But there is a chance that the Vegas trip to kick off the NFL season is going to be back on. So it's a chance that would be 3 months from now, I may be in Vegas for a week. And I'll keep you guys informed. I won't have a live stream in Vegas, but I'll have some videos and some pictures. And, of course, I will take snapshots of my bets and everything I'm going to put down. I'm still on the board if I'm going to do William Hill in Iowa or if I'm going to use one of the sports books in Vegas. It'll be up in the air. The kicker is our glorified punter. I'm drawing a blank on who it is, man. Denver Gator, love you guys, love this community. Dan, you the man, and then no, Denver Gator, you're the man. But thank you so much. You are definitely the man. You forgot. Oh my God, he had some great tight ends. I'm trying to think here. It was a Dallas Clark. That guy he had in Denver that first year. He took all that money in Jacksonville, didn't do a damn thing. Former basketball player. I'm drawing a blank of his song, but yeah. There's a good chance. I do believe in this. I I actually, when I start breaking down the NFC North, we will talk a lot about this. But yes, is our Peyton Manning needs me on TV more. Denver is one of the best shows I've ever. This has been a really good one, man. All right, man, Alex, you have a good night. We can have a tea. That's what they're going to have with Tebow. Dan, are you a fan of Eric Clapton? The answer is yes. And Gary, this should be my theme song. Yes, I am a big fan. Dallas Clark was from Iowa. Yes. All right. This has been a great show. You guys have been fantastic. Remember, next Friday, 7:15. Please come back. Please join. Don't forget, give me a thumbs up and share this video with your friends. I will see you guys next week